If you want to free up thousands per year without changing your salary, your rent, or your student loans, there is one category that quietly drains money faster than most people realize: eating out. Not because restaurants are bad, but because eating out has more invisible spending, small transactions that feel harmless, and then somehow you have no savings. In this video, I'll show you the real numbers behind eating out, why it's one of the easiest categories to adjust, how to cut back without feeling deprived, and for a simple system that keeps your social life and convenience without accidentally spending your future. Quick note, this is educational, not financial advice. Everyone's context is different. Work, schedule, family, health, location, and time constraints matter. The goal here is not never eat out. The goal is spending intentionally, so eating out doesn't quietly keep you broke. Why this topic matters? Here is a bleak reality. Many people have almost nothing saved for retirement. 21% of Americans have no retirement savings, and another 10% have less than 5,000. And for millennials, nearly 6 in 10 have nothing saved at all. There are many reasons: housing, healthcare, debt. Many costs are fixed. But if you're looking for a practical place to cut back, one category stands out because it's often optional and frequent: food away from home. The problem isn't one expensive dinner, it's the habit layer. Let's talk about how big this category actually is. Part 1. Dining out is bigger than people think. In 2015, for the first time in US history, Americans spent more money on restaurants and bars than on groceries. And the average household now spends more than $3,000 a year on food away from home, around 5 to 7% of total spendings. Even as restaurant prices rise faster than inflation, many people still eat out around 5 times a week. 5 times a week doesn't feel like a lot because it's not one big purchase, it's repeated small purchases. And repeated small purchases are the most dangerous kind because you don't emotionally register them as lifestyle choices. Why eating out is expensive? It's not just the food. A restaurant is not selling you food at cost. Restaurant typically marks up food heavily, maybe around 300%. That means the menu price can be roughly 3 times what the restaurant paid for ingredients. And even if that sounds unfair, it's not just profit. You're paying for rent, labor, equipment, utensils, overhead, taxes, design, ambience, and the convenience of someone else doing everything. If you live in an area where real estate is expensive, that cost shows up in your meal. You are paying for the square meters of the tables. And we haven't even added the biggest markup category, drinks. We'll come back to that. Part 2. Running the numbers. This is where behavior changes. Let's use the simple numbers. A survey found an average restaurant bill per person is over $36. If you eat out just 3 times a week, that's 36 times 3 times 52 equals 5,616 per year. That's not a few dinners. That's a vacation. That's a debt payoff. That's an emergency fund start. Now, compare that to home cooking. An average home-cooked meal is around $4 per person. Even if a real number is higher, the gap is still large. You don't get rich by cutting one latte once. You get rich by seeing the patterns. Now, let's make it even more realistic with a full lifestyle example. Change example. The normal routine that costs 9,000. Here is example. Jane goes out for dinner 3 times per week, spending about $35 each time. Starts every workday with a latte and croissant. Buys lunch 4 times a week. And in 1 year spends over 9,000 on commercially prepared food and drinks. That is over 12% at the 75,000 salary. This is why people feel like they make good money but have nothing saved. The money is quietly pre-spent. Now, here is the interesting part. If Jane reduces dinner from 3 times a week to 1 and makes coffee and breakfast at home, brings lunch most days, and if those homemade meals average around $5 each, the yearly savings can be around 4,420. That's not deprivation, that's one category being adjusted. And it gets better. If Jane invests that 4,420 per year at 7% compounding, in 10 years it's over 65,000. In 20 years it's almost 200,000. All from eating at home more often. But here is the question people ask. Okay, but how do I actually do this without feeling miserable? That's the real value of this video. Let's solve that. Part 3. The real reason you eat out and how to cut back without deprivation. To cut back without feeling deprived, you need to know why you're spending. Most dining out falls into one of 2 categories. First, convenience. You eat out because you're tired, you're busy, you didn't plan, you don't know what to cook, you don't want the cleanup. Second, luxury or emotional need. You eat out because it's social, it's a reward, it's break from stress, it feels like a treat. It's connection and atmosphere, not just food. Those 2 types require different solutions. If you treat a convenience problem like a luxury problem, you fail. And if you treat luxury need like a budget problem, you feel deprived. So let's handle them separately. Part 4. If it's convenience, the solution is preparation, not willpower. If you're eating out because you're too tired to cook, you don't need motivation, you need system. Here are practical system that works. System 1. Lower your home meal standard. This is the most important mindset shift. A home meal does not have to be gourmet, perfectly healthy, complicated, Instagram worthy. At home meals can be eggs and toast, pasta and sauce, soup and bread, rice and frozen vegetables with protein, sandwich with fruit, yogurt with granola, assembled foods. If your standard is too high, you will default to eating out. Perfectionism is expensive. System 2. The emergency freezer plan. Keep convenience food in your freezer, so I'm too tired doesn't become takeout. Examples: frozen meals, frozen vegetables, pre-cooked proteins, dumplings, soup portions, anything you can heat quickly. This is still cheaper than eating out, and it's not moral failure. It's an intelligent trade. System 3. Make breakfast and coffee automatic. Brewing coffee and eating at home can take less time than waiting in cafe line. If you buy breakfast out because mornings feel chaotic, make mornings easier. Set up coffee the night before. Keep a simple breakfast option available. Remove decisions. System 4. Brown bag lunches without misery. If you buy lunch to escape the office, you can still escape. Take your lunch to a nearby park, a quiet coffee space without buying a full meal, a bench, a different room. You are still getting the psychological benefit, but you're not paying restaurant prices for it. System 5. Gradual change beats cold turkey. You don't need to go from 5 times a week to 0. Reduce by 1 meal per week, then another. Then make it a stable routine. Convenience fixes help. But what if eating out is your social life? That's the harder case. Let's talk about cutting back without losing joy. Part 5. If it's luxury, keep the experience, reduce the spending. If dining out is about social connection, you don't want to remove the need. You want to meet it in less expensive way. Here are methods that preserve joy. Method 1. Share and then 3. Restaurant portions are often large. Sharing can cut the cost without reducing the experience. You still get atmosphere, service, social connection, but you spend less and often feel better afterwards. Method 2. Skip restaurant drinks, the high markup category. Drinks are often the highest profit center. If you're trying to cut spending without feeling deprived, order water or choose 1 drink max. Or pick places where drinks are reasonably priced. If you enjoy alcohol with your dinner, the great idea is find places that allow you to bring your own alcohol. 1 drink at a restaurant can cost the same as multiple drinks at home. Method 3. Dessert elsewhere. Going for ice cream or dessert somewhere cheaper can keep the treat feeling without full restaurant markup. Method 4. Keep 1 nice dinner and make it intentional. This is the key to not feeling deprived. Pick 1 planned meal out per week or per 2 weeks. Make it intentional. Enjoy it fully. When you plan dining out, it stays a luxury, not default. Method 5. Watch out for deals to make you go more often. Emails, coupons, reward cards, those can reduce the bill per visit, but increase visits overall. The discount is designed to increase frequency. A simple rule: if it makes you go more often, it's not savings tragedy. We have covered strategies, but the real skill is tracking your actual spending without obsession. Here is how to control this category calmly. Part 6. The 3 questions that end mindless spending. You shouldn't accept any large, regular expenses without asking 3 questions. How much am I spending on this? What do I get out of it? Can I get the same benefit for less money? This turns dining out from habit into decision. And once it becomes a decision, the guilt disappears because you're choosing intentionally. Part 7. A simple eating out budget that doesn't feel like punishment. Try this simple structure. Choose a monthly amount for eating out that feels realistic. Withdraw it in cash or track it separately. When it's gone, it's gone. This creates a natural boundary without daily mental negotiations. Boundaries reduce stress. Constant decision making creates stress. Quick recap. Eating out keeps people poor because it's frequent, it's high markup, it's disguised as normal. It replaces cooking system and planning. And it's often meeting needs you could meet cheaper. What to do instead? Identify whether it's convenience or luxury. Fix convenience with preparation and easy food. Fix luxury by keeping the expense but lowering cost. Plan your nice meals intentionally. Ask the 3 questions consistently. To be clear, eating out isn't bad. What's bad is not knowing what it's costing you. You can enjoy restaurants and still build savings. You can have social life and still invest. You can have convenience and still stay financially stable. The goal is not deprivation. The goal is control. If you want, comment why you like to eat out. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next one.